our previous video, I got started on a large custom bookshelf to fill an empty space in my living room. And now it's time to finish the project. In this video, we'll get to add a key design element.
It's going to have this detail of arches in it that I'm so excited about because I'm obsessed with arches right now, and I think that it adds so much character in your home.
I also need to add some trim pieces and a coat of paint to finish this stay-at-home build. It's time to get started on my arches. If you can't cut a perfect curve, arches could become your arch nemesis. Luckily, I have a technique for cutting perfect curves every time.
I've created this circle jig that will pair up with my router, and I'm going to show you how to make one.
I trace the base of my router on a piece of scrap wood and drill in holes so it can be screwed into the bottom. Then I draw a wider hole for the router bit. After screwing the router to the wood, I mark a pivot hole for my circle radius.
Now that I finished making the circle jig, I can cut out the arches for my bookcase.
I hammer a nail through the pivot point and swing the router around the pivot, taking a few passes. And there you have it, a perfect arch. I'll celebrate later. First, I'll cut 2 more arches. All right, let's take it over to the bookcase to see how it fits.
That's perfect.
Now we'll glue on the arches and hammer in some nails. Wow, these arches look awesome.
Since I built this bookshelf out of plywood, I'm going to use poplar for trim pieces to cover up those edges.
On my table saw, I cut 1-inch strips of trim for the horizontal sections and 2-inch strips for the vertical sections. All right, let's attach them. More glue and more nails. When it comes to the horizontal trim pieces, I want each one to be as snug as possible. So I'm going to trim a little on the miter saw and walk them over to check if they fit.
It's a little bit too long.
You can always trim a tad more off. This is called sneaking up on the line.
Perfect.
Now I can glue and nail them in. Hey, wow, this is really coming together. But before I can paint, I need to sand everything smooth. My orbital sander makes it easy to reach every part of my bookcase, even my arches. All right, everything looks smooth, so we'll take it outside to paint. Okay, I love this part. I'm spray painting my bookcase slate green. By spraying, I can go fast and keep the paint even. This color is great. It kind of matches my Spanish moss here in the backyard. I chose this lined, detailed white backer board to add character to the bookshelf. I'll measure out the width, set the depth of my circular saw, and we'll get to cutting. I'm cutting 3 backer board sections to fit behind each of the 3 sections of the shelf. And finally, we'll attach the backing to the bookcase. Wow, it looks great. Okay, it's time for this bookcase to move to its final spot in my home. But what's a bookcase without books? I know, one with plants and tasteful decor. That's right, I'm gonna make this stylish. fully decorated, it looks great. I'm so happy with how it came out, and it's already a centerpiece of my home. Thanks for building with me.